Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Are you doing well, mate? I really do hope that. And yes, the new lens is still exciting. The Bo Burnham style, high-quality, wide action... Wide action? Yeah, why not? Wide action lens. But I have the new interface. That's right, the solid-state logic SSL interface that hopefully has eliminated the hissing sound. That's right, for those of you who listen with headphones, which is many of you, for those of you who just watch on your phone, which is many of you, there was always a little underlying buzz, which I think had something to do with my old sound card. So now, I have the solid-state interface, the cloud lifter, the Shure SMB7, the expensive full-frame Lumix Panasonic S5 camera, and the Sigma lens. It's bleeding me dry, guys. I'm trying to give you quality. Hopefully the sound issue is fixed. Let me know in the comments. Chelsea have signed, or are about to sign, yet another wonder kid sensation from Santos. He's a forward. That's exciting. It looks like we'll never, after this summer, we will never have to sign players again because we have honed an army of international super talents that will all just slowly gravitate towards Chelsea Football Club like we've got some form of gravitational field called money. Yeah, it should put us in good stead, as well as a high-profile sale. Another one after Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Necessary. We salute all these fallen talents, or not false promises, but young talents that never lived up to. Or maybe they were just a victim of circumstance. There's a certain chance I'm a victim of circumstance. So take a look at myself in that first glance. What's that tune? Never mind. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Please do consider dropping a like. I've spent all this money to make the quality good, so like the fucking video, mate. You're welcome to subscribe, and should you choose to do so, subscribe that is, I recommend you hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Oh yeah. Because I'm uploading all the time, news is ever-changing and evolving all the time, and you want to keep up. So you hit that bell, baby. So, Chelsea are about to sign Brazilian talent Angelo from Santos. We're offering £15 million, which doesn't sound like much in the grand scheme of things, but Chelsea are making these investments all over the gaff. We bought Strasbourg for the same price as we sold Kai Havertz. So you buy a club now for a high-profile player transfer. That's where we're at in the world, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But for Santos, £15 million for a guy who's still a teenager is good money for them, I guess. Apparently he's going to sign a 6-year contract. He's already started medical tests. So saith Brazilian journalist Vene Casagrande. What a name. Incroyable. So he's already doing medical. Brazilian sensation doing his medical at Chelsea. Now, why only 6 years? Why not tie him down and, imprison him to a 10-year sentence or a 9.5-year sentence like Enzo Fernandez? If surely that's the smart thing. Well, no, it's not. The loophole is closing. So it's like you can imagine like a Marvel film or something, like the wormhole's closing. Quick! Get more youngsters through the wormhole, it's closing! UEFA's like, I don't know, like the Dark Wizard or whatever that's closing the loophole. Yeah, so you can't do it anymore. Or you can sign players on long contracts should you want to, but you can no longer take advantage of the loophole where you just amortize the spend on their entirety of the contract. Now I think it's 5 years, possibly 6. Hence the 6-year contract for Angelo. Now, I'm looking at presumably, it looks like the Portuguese version, or the Brazilian version of Transfermarkt, to look at what this kid does. He's 18 years old. I'm trying to look at what footed he is. Esquerdo. What the hell does that mean? Anyway, he's predominantly a right winger, it looks like, but he can play as a left winger and down the middle. Not so much as a striker, but more as a number 10, it looks like. So this guy's an attacking midfielder / winger. Kind of like the versatility of Nkunku, but he likes being on the right-hand side. Now, Do we think this young kid is going to be dropped into the Chelsea first team? Almost certainly not. Well, Poch loves bringing through youngsters, etc. But this is the kind of perfect raw material that new gen Blue Co, which I guess is Chelsea moving forwards, Chelsea's ownership model, or ownership name, excuse me. They will look for players such as Angelo, and they will move him from Santos in Brazil to Strasbourg, for example, which is a really good club in like many, many ways. And this is like largely visa, related as well, because it's really, we just saw with like Andre Santos, that we signed, the young Brazilian teenager. We wanted him to be in the squad straight away, but he couldn't get the visa. But as soon as they've gone and played in a different European league, I think it's the case is that they can just come to the Premier League from another European league. But from South America, because of Brexit, I voted against Brexit. Just gonna nail my colours to the mast now. I'm not afraid anymore. Anyway, I don't touch politics, but yeah, I'm not into Brexit. Anyway, it makes it more difficult for football, if anything. And this is a football channel. We all like football, right? If you don't like football, what are you doing here? Unless you just want to look at a handsome boy singing every now and again. You got that. Yes, so this is good because this is like, maybe Chelsea bring him in, maybe they loan him somewhere else, or maybe they loan him to Strasbourg, or we're about to buy another club in Portugal, and of course Portuguese is the language spoken in both Brazil and Portugal. I'm sure many of you knew that anyway. And therefore the transition would be easier, he can get his visa, and then he could come to Chelsea, should we want him. Or he just becomes really good and we sell him for loads of money. Smart business from Chelsea Football Club. Right then, let's talk about another. Well, look, we've got the here we go already for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 20 million euros to AC Milan, which is probably good money. I reckon he's going to take a wage reduction, but he'll get a new contract that will be probably 5 years. He's got 1 year left in his Chelsea deal. And by all accounts, Loftus-Cheek's excited to go to Milan. And why wouldn't he be? We've spoken about that in previous videos. Go watch previous uploads for different opinions and pieces of information and news. Now, the Guardian report via Jacob Steinberg. Callum Hudson-Odoi, who might not sound like a sexy name at the moment, but said it before, I like regurgitating the same stories. I was there in Stamford Bridge when he got his first goal and assist in, I believe, Europa League. Under Mauricio Sarri, actually. Was it Conte's second season? No, because we wouldn't have been in the Europa League. We won the Ruddy League, so it would have been Sarri. He looked mustard, mate. He was 17 years old. He was all over the gaff. It looked like the heir apparent to Eden Hazard. We were sorted. We didn't have to worry. This kid was right-footed, a demon dribbling, but he scored that kind of signature goal with his left foot where he sort of drills it straight. He sort of cuts in when no one expects him to take it, and he shoots really quickly. Now, that sounds simple. Shooting quickly sounds simple, but it's the thing that goalkeepers don't like. They expect people to set themselves, to look at their feet, to look up, to know. As soon as someone just shoots without thinking, goalkeepers hate that. And especially if you can just do it on target. Anyway, he's a really good player. And he had bad advisors, I think. Apparently we're going to sell him for 15 million, this headline says. Pour one out for the Times, where Bayern Munich were willing to pay £70 million for Hudson-Odoi, and we said no. They're nowhere to be found now. It is really sad because, Chelsea, well, thought we had our own Jadon Sancho. I mean, Paul went out of his career as well right now. But but a lot of people thought, like, behind the scenes, like, yeah, he's more talented than Jadon Sancho, Callum Hudson-Odoi. And this is the time Sancho was tearing up the Bundesliga as well. So, and Bayern Munich, the Germans have excellent scouts. Certainly Bayern do as well. Look at what they did with Jamal Musiala from us, by the way, and he looks absolutely next level. And the Germans are not only good scouts, they're good convincing as well, because not only do they convince him to come to Bayern, they convinced him to switch his national allegiance to Germany. Now you can thank Joachim Löw for that, or Jogi Löw, whatever you call him. Yeah, another talent. Anyway, Fulham under Silva, good. Milan, good, recent Scudetto winners, and of course Loftus-Cheek and Fikayo Tomori, both gone there from Chelsea as well. Also, both Chelsea graduates, Cobham graduates, like Callum Hudson-Odoi. And Nottingham Forest, which is probably the least sexy, but they've got big financial backing, have registered interest in signing Callum Hudson-Odoi, who is likely to leave Chelsea following the large lift. Chelsea are in the process of cutting their bloated squad, and they're prepared to raise further funds by selling Hudson-Odoi. Pause, lest we forget! Hudson-Odoi is on £120,000 a week. I think he says this down in the article. Let's read on. So he's a product of the academy, 15 million quid would try and generate. It's decent peas, considering, the winger is out of contract next summer. Yeah, look, he's young, 1 year left. He's sat on the bench for Bayer Leverkusen recently. What are you going to do? Hudson-Odoi spent last year on loan at Bayer Leverkusen. There's been interest in the 22-year-old from Saudi Arabia. Look, man, it's not just people over 30 going to Saudi Arabia. They're signing, all kinds of good young talents now as well. I tell you, man, that league is going to be riddled in talent at some point. At this stage, it's understood the Saudi Pro League is not a priority for Hudson-Odoi. Yeah, well, play at competitive high level, brother. The focus will be on finding a club in the Premier League or mainland Europe. Fulham need more depth in attack and could offer Hudson-Odoi the chance to remain in West London. Yeah, that's a kind of big thing for a lot of Chelsea players. They consider that, whether it's, Loftus-Cheek went to Fulham on loan. Willian had a house in London. Is Willian still at Fulham? I guess he is, right? Yeah. Forest are looking for more quality as well after avoiding relegation. Milan have had extensive contact with Chelsea this summer and have agreed to sign Loftus-Cheek for £15 million plus add-ons. So we'll go up to £18 million, I think, or ish. West Ham are also monitoring the situation, but their top target for the left flank is Leicester's Harvey Barnes, who's actually very good, Harvey Barnes, by the way. I think he's a little bit underrated. There will be sadness when Hudson-Odoi leaves Chelsea. Sadness. He was one of the best talents to emerge from their academy. He genuinely, by the way, look, I take the Michael here. But there's that video of when he was a kid in the academy, just literally, I know it's academy football and he's an academy player back then, but still, he's playing at a level of very talented young players at the same age as him, maybe even older than him, and he's just literally snaked the whole team and just scored a banger. That's still, you still watch someone do that and go, whoa, man. That's what people do, right? They go, whoa, man. Yes, he came close to joining Bayern Munich as well in 2019 and 2020. Bayern's interest prompted Chelsea to hand Hudson-Odoi a 5-year deal worth 120k a week. Yeah, I remember. He was running out of contract. Bayern wanted him for loads of money. We were like, sugar, we're going to lose our academy bred, Cobham, real Chelsea, Eden Hazard replacement to Bayern Munich. And they know what they're doing. They always know what they're doing. We're going to look like mugs. Absolute mugs. Then Super Frankie Lampard got hired. Got in the ear you know what? I'm Frank Lampard. This is Chelsea. You're our boy. And then literally there was an interview of Hudson-Odoi. In fact, 2 interviews. I remember reporting on it. He was like, as soon as I spoke to Frank, I wanted to stay. The vibes were palpable. They were profoundly positive. I felt so happy and Chelsea that time. I was like, he signed a new deal. He's the one. He's going to lead our attack. He's going to evolve into something beautiful. And it's all because of Frank Lampard. That's got the shirt there. It's got Lampard on the back. Don't know why it's relevant. Point being, he was going to be the one. He's the one. But it all came tumbling down. Hudson-Odoi was close to returning from a serious Achilles injuries when he signed. Yeah, Frank Lampard convinced him. He liked Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard liked him. Thomas Tuchel often used the English international as a right wing back. He didn't like that. There's no question over Hudson-Odoi's ability, and he's keen to revive his career. He's 22 years old. This is where we're at, man. It's because he's hit the first team at 17 years old, which for Chelsea is wild, by the way. Especially of in that time. Lately, you might see, especially Frank gave teenagers debuts and stuff, but that was wild. He obviously didn't like Tuchel playing him at wing back. And he made his England debut at 18. See, yeah, he's 22 years old, man. See, when you've in the Chelsea first team at 17, you made your England debut at 18. Like the world is exploding in front of you in a good way. In a good way. That's a bad thing to say. The world is glowing. What's a good thing for the world to be doing? Exciting you, stimulating you. 17, first team, 18, first England team. Incredible scenes. Maybe it just happened too fast, But yeah, at 22 years old, if you think, oh, I'm washed up and I got to revive my career. I'm 34 years old. I still feel like a child, bro. Imagine feeling like washed up and you need to revive your career at 22. He was one of the most exciting young players in the country. Hudson-Odoi is unlikely to have a future under... it says unlikely to have a future under Pochettino. He might be the kind of player Pochettino likes, but the point being... we've got wide forwards now. Hey, we've got, what's his name? Angelo. Who knows, eh? Yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think. Good. I mean, we talked about Hudson. I've often forgotten about Hudson-Odoi when I list off these players we're going to sell, which of there are many. There's still Trevor Chalobah, Azpilicueta, Romelu Lukaku that are high profile, and Pulisic that are all high profile potential exitees. People to leave. As well as others. Wow. Anyway, let me know what you think. Hopefully the audio is better. The video should be better as well. Cranked up the bitrate a little bit to make it a little bit better. So I'm really trying to push the good quality content for you guys. Let me know if you appreciate it. Hit the bell. If there's a big story that pops off, I'll be first to react. So stick around on Football Therapy. Peace.